How many Calix does it take to get to the center of a Selesnya Enchantment deck? This video and my channel are sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot is a social marketplace where you can buy and sell collectibles and hang out and chat with fellow collectors. If you sign up using the link in the description of the video, not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also get $15 off your first purchase. And be sure to tune in on my first ever Whatnot stream on May 22nd. I'll be showcasing and selling some magic cards, tokens, and unique collectibles. Thank you again to Whatnot for sponsoring my channel. Hello everyone, I'm Amy the Amazonian, and I'm back with some Standard. This is a Selesnya Enchantress deck featuring the new Calix Guided by Fate. Calix Guided by Fate is a very cool card that whenever he or an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, you get to copy an enchantment you already control. So that means that you want to be enchanting your creatures and also have a Calix that's huge and able to attack through. A lot of this deck is very, very familiar to people who have been playing the Kamigawa Enchantress deck because it's exactly the same. We've got Jukai Naturalist to discount things. We've got Generous Visitor to buff things up. We've got Kami of Transience as a recurring threat, Spirit of the Companion to draw us cards, Hallowed Haunting to sit in the back line and make spirits in case we have board wipes afoot, and a couple new fun cards that I've added into the deck, like Heliod. Heliod brings back an enchantment from the graveyard to your hand. It's great in case one of your key pieces dies. We also have one Invasion of Theros, since it can get you your removal, since it can grab an aura, god, or demigod. There's none of those that I can think of. But we have Ossification here, and Ossification is really strong removal. We also have Audacity in this deck from Brothers War. It's strong. It gives trample. It means that if you manage to get a gigantic, say, Michiko's Reign of Truth, the backside portrait of Michiko, you can give things trample so you can get through the damage. I think that this deck is really, really fun to play, though. And I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to play it in the ranked queue, so let's get ourselves some wins with Calix. We're up against Diamond Head. We've got discounts, removal, buffs, and more removal in our hand. Seems fine to me. So let's get down our Razorverge Thicket. We do need to have a basic land for Ossification if we plan on using it. And it's Soldiers! Recruitment Officer being the prime reveal for this fortified beachhead. I could remove that. I don't think it's worth it, though. I think it would make more sense for me to either play the Jukai Naturalist, going for discounts next turn, or Generous Visitor. I'm going to start with this Generous Visitor, because next turn I can double spell. I can do the Jukai Naturalist and Michiko's Reign of Truth, and that way I'm getting the most value out of the Generous Visitor triggers. Thalia! Okay, so Thalia is actually going to increase the cost of all of those. Make it a little bit less clean. Very rude of you. I don't get to double spell. How dare you, Thalia. I want to go off. Now I have to attack in with a big life linker next turn. I don't want to do that. Well, maybe I want to do that. Another Recruitment Officer. These 1-mana 2/1s are super great in Soldiers. They're swinging in with both. We could go for a double block. We could go for a regular block. I'm not going to. They could be holding up Eiganjo, since they have Thalia up. They could be holding up a Destroy Evil of their own, but it would be costing 3. They could have an unsummon effect. They could have the thing that makes 2 soldiers that enter the battlefield. Lots of different choices here. Alright, so we've got discount plus this. Do I want to go for Restoration, Ossification, or Reign of Truth too? Alright, so we're going to start with Ossification, hitting Thalia. Make you bigger. We take out Thalia. I know I am now opening them up to playing some cheaper things, but I'm pretty sure that what they have is the Flash Soldiers, since they couldn't have predicted that I would do the removal. What I want to do is I want to gain life. Swing in for 7. Resolute Reinforcements, as I expected. 2 1/1s. They can block. They can attack. Or they could just take 7 and I could heal up to 21. You might be thinking, Amy, you should have put some buffs on the Generous Visitor. Yes, but also I feel like they're going to be playing more buffs, and it's not even going to work out that well for blocking. Yep, Valiant Veteran is exactly what I expected. I thought maybe they had 2 this turn. I will take this. Oh, what violence! What joyous violence. Make the Naturalist really big. Land. Another Reign of Truth. More truth. All I care about in this world is gaining life. Did you know that 12 isn't 13? They're blocking anyway. We're gonna heal up to 23. Our gigantic Naturalist is just hanging out, our big naturals. And we're ready with a Destroy Evil if they have more buffs. We have our Hallowed Haunting. Finally can be cast on the 3 mana. It's possible that, by the way, they chump blocked here because they have more Thalias. They've already played 2. We removed 1. They chump blocked with another. Ooh, Siege Veteran! Who gets the +1/+1 counter? It's Valiant Veteran, becoming a 3/3. Now, if any of these non-token soldiers die, they will be getting another token soldier. I'll take 3. One of these Reigns of Truth is going to flip on over. Jukai Naturalist, by the way, is like the enemy of so many mono red decks. I love that. I love how big and nasty this thing can get against mono red. That's just like, you can't gain life. That's against the rules. Yeah, well, rules are meant to be broken. We're the ones breaking them. Swinging for another 9. Would you like to, I don't know, triple block? Nope, they're jump blocking. Resolute. That's going to get them a token. Little artifact creature token. There we go. Do have a 5/5 and a 3/3. And they have a Fortified Beachhead, which they can use to buff their soldiers when they get 1 more land. Recruitment Officer, activating, checking the top cards, finding a weenie. What do you got? They got another Recruitment Officer, and they have enough mana to play it, so they may as well. If they put the buff on either the Siege Veteran or the Valiant Veteran, we can destroy it. It is evil, and it must be ended. Nice! Alright, so they buffed up the Siege Veteran, which means he's evil now. We've destroyed him. The enemy! I'm going to discard the Naturalist here, since it comes into play pretty much for free. Look at that. We got a freebie Naturalist there. I'll play Hallowed Haunting. That is a 7th enchantment, which means our enchantment creatures now have flying. All our creatures, in fact. We swing in, and that's a lethal attack. GG Diamond Head. This is a hand with removal, ramp, and Hallowed Haunting. This is keepable. And if we end up getting from nice 2 drops or less, we'll be ready to roll, and we did. Jukai Naturalist, hello there. Gonna discount my enchantments. Hopefully this Styx doesn't get countered. Are you doing? Yeah, I see the 2 blue mana. Does it make disappear? Yeah. That's the magic trick I expected. I expect them to do it again. So we're going to do one of the 3. Restoration of Eiganjo. Does this one resolve? Somehow, I doubt it. Somehow, I feel like Restoration of Eiganjo. The first one? No. The second one? Maybe. And the third one, well, you know what? We'll see. It's a very nice card because it actually lets me get back this Jukai Naturalist without casting it. We're going to use this Restoration of Eiganjo. I played the land first because I'm not sure if there's anything that would counter it and have me pay 1. There's very, very few cards that can do that in just blue right now. Nice. It landed! Haha! The restoration begins! Does something with flash come out? No, but they're thirsty. A hottie gen. Currently a 3/4. He's gonna get bigger with the more instants and sorceries. Or sorry, yeah, instants and sorceries they build up in the graveyard. As far as what do I want? What do I want them to not counter? We've got 2 different pieces of removal here. So we're going to be just basing our next plays off that. So we're going to get the plains into the graveyard to bring out the Jukai Naturalist. Jukai Naturalist is going to be reducing these. So, Restoration of Eiganjo 2. Do you counter it? Can you counter it? Grab our land. Attempt some ossification. Keeping open 2. Oh, hey, hottie, hottie, would you like to go to naughty jail? If they have a slip out the back, we can actually respond with Destroy Evil. How devious. It's a shore up! Ooh, 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 that's not gonna work. Turns out your butt too thick, you're evil. Get out of here. Did have to use 2 pieces of removal, but it's kind of a 2 for 2 here, since the shore up is another card. And we have something that has on-cast triggers, this Hallowed Haunting, which is good against a control deck like this. Or I should say a tempo deck. This is very much just like trying to get the pieces into place to complete the puzzle. Ooh, double Naturalist. Just checking what I have in the graveyard. I'm going to discard this Naturalist to get this Naturalist into play. For that big, delicious discount on the Hallowed Haunting. That's going to be my 6th enchantment, and Michiko's Reign of Truth will be the 7th. When we have 7 in play, our creatures get Flying and Vigilance. Now, they might be able to bounce one back into hand. Let's find out if they do. Michiko's Reign of Truth. We get a Spirit. We want to hear it. I'm going to throw the buff onto the Naturalist since it's the only thing swinging in this turn. If they throw it back into my hand, I can cast it again, and that will also trigger the Hallowed Haunting. Yep, Fading Hope. They don't want me gaining 9 life. Jukai Naturalist, return to me! And we get the buff right back. These are fine for chump blocking. And since they're spirits, and they get buffed with the number of spirits, when we attack them with this, they'll get even bigger. I'll probably just take 5 damage if they decided to attack there. Alright. Throw this onto the Naturalist. This flippers. We will briefly lose the buff and come get it back. Cool. I'm gonna cast this other Naturalist. I don't need to hold back information. I just want to deal damage. This also means that if they can bounce 1 of my cards and not 2 of them, we'll maintain the Hallowed Haunting buff. Everybody get in there. More spirits. Makes our spirits grow. Mono Blue doesn't have many things that target multiple. There's some things that could phase out a couple targets. March of Swirling Mist comes to mind. But it looks like we're good. We're getting a huge swing in here. They can't block anything. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, you know what? It's lethal. The game finished doing the math before I could do the math. GG, Mono Blue. Momo! Hope you're ready for some enchantments, because I've got enchantments aplenty in this hand. I love that green. Love the white. Love the green. Love the white. Let's go. Some of this, some of that, some of you. Gotta make sure I have a creature so I can use Michiko's Reign of Truth. And it's Rakdos. We also just put some great cards in our graveyard to bring back, since this one brings itself back. Bloodtithe Harvester. Ooh, a little 3/2. Could give nasty little debuffs. It's very tempting for me to just, like, Invasion of Theros. I'm gonna go for Restoration of Eiganjo instead, since it sets up really well. Both our hand, our graveyard, everything else, and we're swinging at their face. This is not a trade I expect them to want to take, so we're just going for it. Oh, wedding announcement! They get a little 1/1! An itty-bitty little guy. Do I want to discard and bring something back? Yes. I'm discarding Michiko's Reign of Truth to bring back Michiko's Reign of Truth. Making this into a 5/5. And just gonna, like, swing at their face with it, I think. I want to get down Hallowed Haunting against this kind of deck. A fine chump block. This will be able to eat up their graveyard, or my graveyard. Really don't want to exile this, though. They swing in. It's 3 damage. I take it. Might be getting a flipped Invasion of Theros next turn. That'd be pretty sweet. I do like that this thing comes in tapped. Like, yes, it's tapped. It makes 0 impact to the game, but it is sideways. This is going to flip over, by the way. Turn into the Architect of Restoration. Currently 4 mana. You got a shoulder or something? No, an Archangel of Wrath. Unkicked, though. Still has lifelink. Is cool. Is scary. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to buff up the Kirin Touched Orochi. It's a good snake. Grab Invasion of Theros. Ooh. If I do Audacity, then I can trample straight through there. Yeah! Let's do it, baby! And we swing at Invasion of Theros. I think I will exile a non-creature card. I'll hit this land. Make you even bigger. Oh, the audacity. We cast it. It triggers Hallowed Haunting, comes into play. Now we've got a nice little army built up. This is, by the way, lifelinking and indestructible, since I have a whole bunch of other enchantments. Still can die to things like the Blood Tithe Harvester if they get another blood into play. I like how they're just staring at their own human token, like, I want to sacrifice you. Please don't. There's a whole bunch of things that you can, like, sacrifice a token in order to exile a permanent. I don't want that. I don't need that in my life. Junji? That's a big ol' reanimating lizard. A dragon spirit. Well, very spooky. Let's try and draw some cards. I don't think Kami of Transience is going to do much of anything for me. But Calix might. Ooh. Especially with this Hallowed Haunting going off. Ooh, I love it so much. I'm going to beef up you. And you. I'm gonna put the buff on the lifelinker, since it's indestructible and really, really good. Swing in with all this stuff, and I think win the game. Good game. X. That's the opponent's name. It's X. Cool. Well, I've got Jukai Naturalist, and I've got Calix and Restoration of Eiganjo. So I like this hand, and I think it's good. You think it's the 10th? I think it's an unknown number. The X. Oh god, that's so hard to say. X. Yes, that is the thing that our opponent is called. And they are playing mono red. I think mono red it is. I'm gonna throw down the Jukai Naturalist to get those discounts. Hoping it doesn't die right away. It didn't, which tells me that they did not have Play with Fire in their hand at the time that the game started. Good. Love that for us. Jukai Naturalist, we're going to use its discount to get out Restoration of Eiganjo, because I couldn't afford to do it otherwise. And I need to do it before this dies. If you had an opportunity to kill this and you didn't take it, that's on you. Yeah, they're thinking about something. You want to kill my Naturalist? Probably kill it now before it gets huge. Absolutely massive. It gives me a lot of life. Lightning Strike. It's dead. And that's fine. It's going to come back next turn because Restoration of Eiganjo will let me discard the Kami of Transience to bring it back. I won't have a great attack this turn, but that's totally fine. I don't need one. Bring it back. Nice! I'm just gonna hold up the Destroy Evil rather than play the Audacity, I think. Since being able to destroy this mechanized warfare feels like an important play. Since we're up against mono red, I am specifically buffing the Jukai Naturalist. Calix, you're important, but I want this to appear to be the target so I can attack with you. Unbothered. Reckless Impulse. They're just checking the cards. They got a Kamano Faces Kakazan. And that's 2 damage to my face. I'll let it happen. Things are happening. Enchantments are entering the battlefield under my control. Sagas trigger Calix. We're going to make the Naturalist even bigger. Then we're going to make Calix even bigger. Last chance. Oh, they don't have anything. So we're going to have Audacity. And oh, the Audacity we have. More +1/+1 counters on Calix. There we go. All right, it took a little while, but we finally managed to get them to try and cast their removal. Should have done it while it would have worked. It's too late now. We get to make a copy of one of these things on the battlefield. Absolutely. Since we're against mono red, I'm feeling the Jukai Naturalist, but I also think going really, really big is going to be helpful. And I'll just buff up the Naturalist even more. They have 5. And another Mechanized Warfare, increasing their red and artifact damage by 1. Do you have a second End the Festivities? They do! That is actually going to kill a lot of those, but it means my Kami of Transience is going to come on back. I love that the Jukai Naturalist this whole time is like... Bro, what? Shh, it's fine. It's fine, we're going to make you bigger. And then you're going to gain me life. And you're gonna win me the game. GG X. It's really hard to say. Good game though. A lovely 3 mana. Some discounts. Some big boys. And Reign of Truth for the buffs. This is a keeper for sure. Fortified Beachhead. So we're up against soldiers. And they both went first and had a play on turn 1, which is kind of hard for us. We do have Kami of Transience for next turn, followed by Jukai Naturalist into Michiko's Reign of Truth for a very big swing. But we're going to be taking a lot of damage up until that point. I might actually need to trade the Kami of Transience first, just to kind of keep the life totals up. See if they want to attack in. This can come back from the graveyard pretty easily. So there's, like, a chance that they decide not to. Alright, do I want to make this really big next turn? Or do I want to just go for the block here? I'm going to go for the block. Hitting the Valiant Veteran. They can't exile it from graveyard to give a buff. There's a Harbin. Great. Just going to play the Jukai Naturalist. We can do the Michiko's Reign of Truth on this turn, but that would just be, like, for mana efficiency, so I don't feel like I need to right now. They swing in for 5. Don't need to block that. Recruitment Officer, ready to block. We've got a Brushland. And right now, I do not have anything to bring back from my graveyard, but I do have a Kami of Transience. Michiko's Reign of Truth. Should have done this in a slightly different order, just to get 1 more damage off the Michiko's Reign of Truth. The important thing is I'm getting a lot of life. They could destroy the evil. That is the Jukai Naturalist. A whole bunch of things. I think they have an Eiganjo, maybe? It would be strange to see 2 of them. Nope, they already had the Eiganjo out there. Mural means I won't be acting on their turn other than blocking. Mural's really great in soldiers since it does stop counterspells. We don't really do counterspells in this deck, but that's fine. We don't need that. Jukai Naturalist, grow! Draw a card off the Spirited Companion. Bark, bark. Nice. A forest. Swinging in with the Naturalist to gain a lot more life. They're down to 7. Here comes Heliod. Heliod is not going to have an enter the battlefield here since, well, I don't have anything in the graveyard. And that's fine. I want the 4/4 and I want it out. It can block. Blocking is good. If they had one more attacker, Harbin would be giving the big buff to this board. Kayla's Reconstruction for X equals 1. Top 7 cards, they get one little critter. Well, what would they be looking for in this situation? Valiant Veteran, Brutal Cathars, and removal. They can take out one of my buffed creatures, Kami of Transience or Jukai Naturalist. The big downside of auras, by the way, is that you can get 2 for 1 pretty easily on them. Thankfully, this would still trigger the put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Nice. So they hit Kami of Transience. It's big. I get it. Murals swing in. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 soldiers. We definitely block here. Do I want to flip this? I do want to flip this. This just lets me play things at instant speed, which is cheeky. I will swing in with the Jukai Naturalist. Would you like to block? I'm trying to get the card draw off of this. Also trying to not die to Harbin. Boseiju. It would become nighttime. This would not be a soldier. They would still have 5, though, for the attack. I have 1 legend. So it's going to become nighttime here. I'm holding Eiganjo. And the potential Kami of Transience, Jukai Naturalist. And it depends on what's happening. If they can't kill me, they need to play defensively. They're putting +1/+1 counters on all their creatures. They're going to learn how to fly. But we will teach them to die. Oh, I'll teach Harbin to die. Get out of here, Harbin. Hi. I'm still dead. But I got to kill Harbin, so that feels good. GG, a cooler type. Looks like we're getting to the center of things, because we're playing against Hope. We've got our Calix, we've got an Aura, and we've got a little doggy to play on turn 2. Who's a good girl? You're a good girl. I see black mana. Black mana usually means removal. Are you gonna cut down my dog? Please don't cut down my dog. She's just a little guy. They let her live. Probably gotta wait until I start buffing her up. Black and blue. I think the safe play would be Restoration of Eiganjo. So that's what I'm gonna do. Get a plains in hand, and I will swing in for 1. You gonna flash out anything? No, not killing my dog. My dog will live forever. Grixis! Alright, I know Grixis. I've seen Grixis before. I'm going to discard the Generous Visitor, just to cheat it into play. Hello, welcome back. We have some fun, though. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited for this turn, actually. Boseiju. Calix. Things happen. Great. Also, make it bigger. And make it more trample. Looking great. Throw that one on Calix. Who wants this buff? Eeny, meeny, miny... Dog. Dog, attack. Since this has an aura on it, we get to copy either the dog, the Audacity, or the Restoration of Eiganjo. I'm going for the Restoration! And enter the battlefield, we trigger. Calix is bigger. Get a plains. Oh, that's the good stuff right there. Doesn't it feel nice when the things do the thing you want them to do? So good. So good. They discard 2, Hitotsugu and Kairi. Makes sense. The Hitotsugu and Kairi combo with the explosive singularity is pretty cool. But we had a really fast start this game, even though we technically didn't do anything until turn 2, where we played a dog. And then they could have killed the dog and they didn't. I'm very sure they had a chance to kill the dog and they did not take it. They did not know to fear the dog. Blood Tithe Harvester. And a cut down on the Generous Wizard. I felt like they had a cut down before, but now these are both too big for that. I think I'm going to bring back that card you just destroyed. My Generous Visitor. I don't think I need a plains here. Drop it. Pop it. Lock it. Grab the Generous Visitor back into play. Make Calix big enough to survive a double block. Well, he will be when I'm done with this. Hello. On cast, we get a buff. On enter the battlefield, we get another. And we're gonna swing in with both of these. If Calix goes unblocked, we get to copy. If this goes unblocked, or actually, if it just exists, we still get the trigger. We get to make a copy. I'm gonna copy the Hallowed Haunting first. Alright, looks good. Make this bigger. Cool. Love that for us. Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Does not have haste. And it's, I would say, difficult for them to hit their combo this turn. Invoke Despair. Oh no! I'll sacrifice this because it was going to go away anyway. Good game. Playing against Slake. I've got a very keepable hand here. We've got Kami of Transience, Weaver of Harmony, some removal, some buffs, and of course, the sweetest little puppy I ever did see. Yes, we do. I love Spirited Companion. That's a good dog. It's a good dog that dies to Blood Tithe Harvester. Though it's not going to be played on turn 1. Instead, I'm going to play Kami of Transience, offer them a little trade since this thing can come back from the graveyard, and I'd like to save my Ossification because they went first, and I feel like Sheoldred is going to come out on turn 4. It's just, I've got a vibe. I've got a feeling that there's going to be a Shelly Belly this game. Also, that's a really cool sleeve. I think this is from one of the secret lairs. Hello, I'm just a little guy. I definitely won't get bigger at all across this game. No way, that would be crazy. Great. They fell for my ruse. Reckoner Bankbuster, this gets bigger, and I can't hit it with Ossification because it's not a creature. They would have to crew it first. Oh, Dog 2! The sequel to Dog! Got an Overgrown Farmland. Looks great for me. Look at all those lovely non-basics. They're cracking their blood, throwing their land into the graveyard. And they're drawing a card off the Bankbuster. Threw out that land, so I imagine they have more in their hand. Yep. Some basics here. Spirited Companion, once again. might as well just buff my board up. Weaver of Harmony is going to give +1/+1 to each of these enchantment creatures. And it will also give me the ability to double the abilities off Michiko's Reign of Truth or Ossification, if there are things for us to remove, which currently there aren't. Never mind, Weaver of Harmony is dead. Good news about it dying. We get to bring the Kami back into hand. Welcome back, Kami of Transience. You funky little tree spirit. I love a good Japanese maple. Hey, it's the Shaldra that I thought that they'd have before. Hi, Sheldred. I hope you're ready to be removed from the battlefield. We ossify her. She goes to jail. Got ourselves a 3/3 on the battlefield, a couple of 1/1 pupperinos. And a lot of enchantments, which is good for Michiko's Reign of Truth. And, oh, we have to invoke Despair. Do I want to get rid of the Kami? It would come right back to my hand. So I think so. Kami of Transience and one of the Spirited Companions. Since the Spirited Companion went to my graveyard, the Kami of Transience will come back into hand. Hooray! It's back! Once again! Kami of Transience. Hallowed Haunting. Make this a little bit bigger. It wouldn't trigger in the other way. But if we had done Michiko's Reign of Truth, it would have triggered. One, two, three, four. Would you like to kill my Kami of Transience? It might come back again. It's very good at that. Very good at coming back. Thing is almost ready to make its own pilot. Oh no, they cut down my little guy! My little spirited companion! For that, I will avenge you through the power of Kami of Transience. They killed it. I have nothing to buff except for my spirit token. Blood Tithe Harvester. Comes out, makes the blood, can crew the Bank Buster if they'd like to hit my face, but I feel like they're going to use it to draw a card. Nope, they want to hit my face. I have too many lands in hand. Bit of a flood right now. They're dropping a land off the blood. I guess we're just gonna put it all on this spirit here. Go for the big swing. We're down to 6. I could play a land. I feel like I can hold them in hand, though. I'm bluffing, having interaction. I don't have anything. I have 2 basics. They're very pretty, though. Magali did an amazing job here. They're drawing a card. Getting a pilot. Blood Tithe Harvester. I think he's thinking about swinging in. He doesn't have the ability to be sacrificed as removal here. Excellent. Do you have some removal you'd like to use? I know that they can crew. Even though this is tapped, it can still crew. But we're going to try to bother them into blocking both of these by using a second Michiko's Reign of Truth on this other little lovely fella here. Well, that's the wrong one I just clicked. You know what? That's fine. Sometimes misclicks happen. Sometimes you don't move your cursor enough to the left. I don't think it's actually going to have a major change in this game. I will have 1 less spirit token. Fortune Michiko's like, let me at him. I wish to cause problems! Girl, me too. I want to cause problems too. They've already discarded 2 lands trying to find more things. So it feels like both of us are just having a bit of a flood. I'm gonna buff up this spirit token. This flips over. Are you doing anything? Do you have a kill spell? Hello. It is, in fact, not an artifact. But this is still a lethal swing. GG, Slake. Bababada. Bababada? Hello. And I hope you like generous visitors because I'm very generous and very visiting. We've got a turn 1 generous visitor. Wow, I'm having trouble today, huh? It's gonna put counters on things. It also is probably gonna die to mono red. Take the hit. At least I went first. I'm going to play out Jukai Naturalist because life gain is good against mono red. I don't know if you've like heard that before, but it's true. Probably going to die to a burn spell, but if we can get the Restoration of Eiganjo out, we might be able to bring it back. Also, hopefully it doesn't die yet, and I can still use it on my turn. If they have something like a burn spell, they want to use it here so they get the maximum damage off the Swift Spear. Lightning Strike. Lightning has struck. I didn't get a land, so I don't get Restoration. Teachings of the Kirin gives me the most, like, versatility over time. This is the most aggressive card. I'm just playing Weaver of Harmony. And now I'm actually going to chill and sit back with these as blockers, since they both work pretty well as blockers, and I didn't get a land. I have to make sure I'm kind of keeping pace here. Hey there. Not sure what kind of removal you have, but I'm hoping it's not another Lightning Strike, because if it is, you strike this, you kill this. A blazing crescendo! Okay, wow. Gets them some anger. The Teachings of the Kirin, it gets me a wee 1/1. So both of us are in the missing lands averse. My favorite averse. But they're mono red, so they usually play very, very few lands. Mono faces Kakazan, 1 to the face. Followed by Phoenix Chick. Aww. They didn't get a land, so they're not playing Ancestral Anger. A land! A land! I've done it! Getting a land means I get Restoration of Eiganjo, which is going to get me land. It's going to get me cards from my graveyard. It's going to get me a whole lot of stuff. Do I want to attack in with this? I feel like there's a very low chance I'll be blocking, but I feel like we have a lot more comeback potential. We just need to stay alive now. This is a 3/3. Do I want to block that? I think no. I think I'll have a better block for it in a turn. Since we're up against this kind of deck, definitely don't need these Hallowed Hauntings. Gonna drop one and grab Jukai Naturalist or Ossification for removal. I'm gonna go for the Naturalist since life gain discounts everything else. I could go for you and you. That makes me the most chump blockers. Yep, I'll do it. I don't need 2 of these. Ah, I did not manually tap there. Took an extra damage. But, you know, believe in the heart of the cards. Mono faces Kakazan, flips over. It's a 2/2 that causes damage to now exile. If you've got burn, you better use it on this. No, Ancestral Anger draws them a card. I'm gonna block. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is actually fine. Because I'm about to gain a lot of life. Oh, so much life. So much life. Restoration of Eiganjo. Get me another. Play it. And I just want to double check the wording. Non-creature gets me the +1/+1. Alright. So we're swinging with all these. Get the +1/+1 counter. Throw it on the Naturalist. And naturally, we win! Yippee. ASD Fleer! What do I have? I've got nice early cards and a way to discount them. Very fun to get the Jukai Naturalist into something like Ossification. I'm going to lead with the Brushland, since I want to make sure I have some white mana. As much white mana as possible, because I might not actually be able to double spell on the turn after without it. Did manage to get that Plains. I'm going to pay 1 life for the Brushland. Battlefield Forge and a Blast Zone. Interesting. Spirited Companion. Michiko's Reign of Truth. Gaining a life and hitting for a lot of damage. There's nothing for me to ossify here, so Ossification will remain back. I think it's raining outside. 1 second. It is sunny but raining outside. How about there's a rainbow? Summer showers. What a weird phenomenon. It's always weird when you, like, see rain, but also the sun is coming through. Feels tropical, man. Feels tropical. I'm in Boston. It's not tropical here. We do have warm, wet summers, though. Oh, boy. Ooh, Inspiring Overseer. Maybe this is Mardu Angels? I wouldn't mind some Mardu Angels in the house tonight. We'll go ahead. Put this in jail. No blocking allowed. And if they try to bring their blast zone up to 2, we blast the blast zone. We're down to 7 life, though. Michiko's will flip over next turn and give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Blood Tithe Harvester, huh? Cool. This has trample. And this flips over. And this gives a buff to all my creatures. A lot of good stuff happening here. Blast Zone, by the way, can be used to crack this blood. Try to find something that works. Here's the Weaver. And then I saw her face. And I'm a Beweaver. Go ahead and attack in. We have 7 damage. They can prevent 2 of it, which puts them at 1 life. Would you like to go for the trade? On the big one? Nope. You're going for trade on the little one. The little guy. Crack it open the blood. It's Giada. I was right. This is, in fact, Mardu Angels. It's a cool deck. They go to 1. Now, I have to be ready. If they try to proliferate the blast zone, we need to be able to kill it. Just kidding. They paid 1 life on their land. They died, and we win. GG! Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I played a bit of Selesnya, my favorite color combination in Standard. How many Calix does it take? It turns out the answer is 3. Boredom's fine too, especially if you want to lean more into auras and also building up Calix into some sort of Voltron monster. But I really do like this deck. I loved the shell for the Kamigawa enchantment spells. It was my favorite archetype in Limited, and it was one of my favorite archetypes in Constructed too. If you want to get real spicy with this deck, you could even splash red for a certain Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Did you know that's a good card? Because it is, in fact, a good card. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see me record things like this live, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian, where I'm recording this right now. Not right now like when you're watching the video, but right now like there's people in the chat and they're watching. You know what? Just come on over. Say hi. You'll enjoy it. It's a fun time. Thanks for watching.